We just condemn the man any chance we get. Is this actually justified? Or like there's too many narratives piled on top of each other with Brandon Staley. Like without trying to like make memes or like try to be funny, can we just, is like Brandon Staley a good coach or not?
I think he's a good defensive coach.
And that's for one half against the Jaguars.
And I do think that I mean, the Chargers are so snake bitten with injuries, and Derwin James is available for like 3 games a year, and Joey Bosa plays eight plays a game. It's hard to say like how good they could be if they were finally healthy. But I think he had 2 things going for him, or he has 2 things. He's going to keep his job. It looks like, of course, the Chargers fired Joe Lombardi, their
we will talk about in a second, or we'll have during this conversation.
But yeah, so I think Brandon Staley is a good defensive coach who needs to hand over the reins completely to someone else on offense, and I think that he's a good decision maker. Now, I will say also that he makes the good decisions on 4th downs, but the team never called plays that can work.
No, I know.
And so it's a 2-step process. We've talked about it. It's 2-step. You decide to go for it on 4th and 3 at the 50. Yes, that's good. Okay, you've done well so far. You're almost there. You need to pass the ball. That's the second step. And you don't just run Austin Eckler off left guard and lose 3 yards. That's the problem. And if they can solve that part, I think that they can be a super aggressive team with a good defensive-minded coach and someone on offense who can get the most out of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it seems like someone who like understood like a macro concept and then never ever dug into the micro details. Like, well, play actually has to work.
Yes,
that's weird.
Yes, and isn't that strange though for a guy who was so committed, at least before he had the analytics beaten out of him this year. Yeah. He was so committed to doing the thing that no one else would do, but wouldn't execute it properly. It just doesn't make any sense.
And like the 3rd down calls never seemed like they bore any relationship to the 4th down call. Like if you want to be like a true, we're going for it on 4th down team, you have to approach it like holistically. Like you don't treat 4th down like some walled off garden. Like, well, it's 4th down. Let's just do something totally different now.
Right.
Or like it has to be like in relationship, in concert with the previous play calling. Part of being so I actually do think he totally entrusted someone else with the offense, which maybe was part of where the disconnect was, because like Joe Lombardi's offense, just so conservative, so narrow, so like horizontal, and like where maybe it's a kind of offense that doesn't work on 4th downs too. Like that might have been part of the problem, was just like not an offense that's gonna like be taking big risks, And so part of being a good leader is like knowing who to entrust the stuff that you can't run to. So I guess that has been a good first step, firing Joe Lombardi. And you don't have to pile on a guy getting fired, but like he had to be fired. This was not. Yeah. Wait, I talked about this too in the other podcast. So sorry if I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I mean the only reason Justin Herbert was a controversial prospect coming out of Oregon. It seems like a million years ago that we were like debating Justin Herbert, but he was so conservative in the Pac-12. He did not throw deep. When he did, he seemed to lack confidence deep. And so then when he came in as a rookie and was just amazing at that and blew everyone's mind, and now Joe Lombardi has just spent the past 2 years like forgetting that player existed.
Yeah.
And it's what short-circuited this team. It's what short-circuited this offense. So I guess is firing Joe Lombardi enough? Is that really as simple as it is how to fix the Bolts offense and salvaging Justin Herbert's potential, or like just saying throw down field more, or are there bigger issues here, Denny?
Just to provide some context to what you're saying about the lack of downfield throwing for a guy who probably has the strongest arm in the entire NFL, outside of maybe Josh Allen. He was since the start of 2021, Justin Herbert was 31st in air yards per attempt. That's just inexcusable.
That's over 2 years. Man,
perhaps that has something to do with Herbert's, I don't know, dedication, commitment to just checking down, throwing the safe ball. I think it also has to do with the fact that the Chargers have nobody who can get open.
It's just the personnel too. I mean, like Keenan Allen is
he's
like
a possession receiver.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does. but he's not a burner. He's not someone who can get the open downfield. I've never seen Keenan Allen even run downfield.
No, no, you have never seen. Wow, Keenan Allen's 20 yards down the field.
I've never seen him run more than 7 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Keenan Allen will never run 20 yards down the field.
And Mike Williams, I know he is a deep threat, and that's because he's really good at those 50-50 balls, but they are 50-50 balls because he's never open. Okay.
Come on, man.
And no, I mean, he's Devontae Parker. I mean, both of those guys, they're big, tall guys, hyper athletic, but not fast. Okay. Like not fast. So they have to get some speed in this offense, whether it's through the draft, free agency. They have to have someone who I'm blanking here. Who was the deep threat who would just get one target?
Well, we talked about this a little on Sunday. It was Jalen Guyton. Well, that's like another indictment. Your whole offense just can't fall apart because like the situational deep threat gets hurt. It's like Mike Williams getting hurt. Of course, that's going to remove some of your downfield element. But like just to have Mike Williams and Jalen Guyton getting hurt, just meaning you don't have a downfield passing attack. You have to have some way to adjust, like some way to keep that element in your offense. I mean, their offense was just pathetic. It was just, especially coupled with the lack of a running game, they were as one-dimensional. It's a miracle they made the playoffs at all. And the only reason they made the playoffs is because Justin Herbert is so good. And even when you put him in this one-dimensional box, he still creates enough offense. But like I don't know if I've ever seen a more one-dimensional offense with a good quarterback. Right. I saw from Justin Herbert and the Chargers this year.
Well, what I'm asking the Chargers to do, and I know the Chargers brass is listening, got to sign DJ Chark this offseason.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
You got to do it.
Speaking to the average depth of target thing, by the way, there were 2 quarterbacks this year who averaged fewer air yards per attempt than Justin Herbert. Matt Ryan and the man you've decreed unstoppable, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Are the only 2 quarterbacks in the entire league who averaged fewer air yards. I mean, that's just when you have Justin Herbert's arm. I mean, there are greater factors to play, like injuries, like we just discussed. That's just plainly inexcusable. Like just plainly inexcusable. I know they have protection issues too. So it's hard for stuff to develop. That is plainly inexcusable.
I'm actually shocked that the Chargers like don't have someone on the practice squad who could just come in, you know, they could activate this guy and he could run 5 routes a game, you know, and all of them are just absolutely 9 routes just down the sideline, just go, right? There's nobody in the organization who can do that. Like Mike Williams is your only call or Guyton. That's it. That to me, that's a problem.
So it's very damning. So too, we are also talking about just maybe Tom Telesco finally needs to go, because how many years in a row can the Chargers roster supposedly look good and then just very easily fall apart?
I know.
Like injuries are always partly to blame, but guess who else deals with injuries? Every single team in the NFL.
The Chargers are really bad at managing injuries, I will say. Like they're constantly rushing guys back. You know,
they are. They actually always have been.
Yeah. The Week 18 debacle with Mike Williams, Joey Bosa getting dinged up, like that. That's just stuff you don't see from other teams. I know that there's a luck factor with injuries.
No other team has ever punctured their quarterback's lung.
But stop hurting your players. Like just let them heal up. You know.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.